Now, this is the first part where he begins to digest the concerns that he has for the future generation. He discusses the state of the economy. That's our own theme, isolated theme. But the one in red is exactly what Sam Jonah said. We're quoting him verbatim, but the one in blue is a theme that we put there to isolate 17 different themes. Let's go on. He says, it is about the state of the economy and its prospects going forward. As an investor, I know what an economy should look like to attract the necessary investment for national development. Available data indicates that for the first quarter of 2020, GDP grew at a rate of 4.6%, contracted to negative 3.2% for the second quarter and negative 1.1% for the third quarter, giving an average outturn of 0.2% for 3 quarters of the year. For the same period in 2019, the economy grew at the rate of 6%. At the end of the third quarter, the industry sector contracted by negative 3.1. So Sam Jonah goes on to compare all the industries. And so if you come back to this one, he's making a comparison between 2019 and 2020. This comparison had been made. This comparison had even been made in the sessional address by the president. But it's interesting how people look at this from 2 different angles. So when the president was making this comparison, and he ended up at the GDP total growth of 0.2, where is that? Total growth of 0.2%. I remember the president speaking was excited. But Ghana is one of the few countries that in 2020 records a growth that is not negative, records an actual growth, something that's not negative. This 0.2 figure is not negative, that is to say it's not below 0, and the president was excited about it. However, Sam Jonah puts the figure here and he's not happy about it, and he's comparing to 2019. The only thing we find interesting about this is that we are wondering why the researchers for Sam Jonah's speech did not include the word COVID-19 or the factor of COVID-19, because we cannot see any state of economy analysis that can be done in comparison between 2019 and 2020 without COVID-19. I really don't see how that happens, but it really happens here. All of the indicators are given. A straight comparison is done between 2019 and 2020, and there's no COVID-19. Because COVID-19 affected economies globally, all over the world. So when you're talking about the state of an economy and doing a comparative analysis with a year before, a year-on-year comparative analysis between 19 and 20, COVID-19 must be an important denominator. I'm wondering why it doesn't appear in Sam Jonah's analysis. I don't know whether it escaped his researchers. I don't know whether it escaped him. But I'm not sure why this is happening. So this is the first junction where all of us who were looking at this for the purpose of this program raised our heads and said, wait a minute, there's something missing here. Where is the factor of COVID-19 to help us understand Sam Jonah's perspective of the state of the economy? If there's no COVID-19, then we are at a cul-de-sac. So I think he should come back on this one, or his researchers should probably come back on this one. But next time, for the researchers, you're working for a very important person. You have to give him the comprehensive information. Comprehensive. It's very, very important. Let's move on nonetheless. Okay. Is all the state of the economy. Okay, then he comes to the debt crisis, which is directly related to the state of the economy. And he says that, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most alarming aspects of our macroeconomic situation is the debt crisis. As at the end of 2020, total debt reached Ghana cedis 291 billion, representing 76% of GDP, a nominal increase of about 143 billion since January 2017. In 2018, the debt ratio was 59%. It increased to 62% in 2019 and to 76% in 2020. New bonds have since been issued. So Sam Jonah expresses concern about the debt situation. Here again, COVID is important. So it is still back to the same equation. On the state of the economy and on the debt crisis, we think that Sam Jonah should come back with clarity and let us understand the position of COVID, the ramifications of COVID, and how altogether that gives a comprehensive photograph of the state of our economy. And then we can work with that. What he has given us so far, it has a deficit of the COVID analysis. And maybe the researchers for Sam Jonah, KBE, who put out this very brilliant speech, they must come back on this one. They must come back. They must do their work well.